Brother lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. Mikel Arteta has decided that next season we will see a new midfield at Arsenal. We will also see a new forward playing instead of Gabriel Jesus, and we might see a player in Marc Guéhi replacing Gabriel Magalhaes. The big question is, if you want to win the league, if you want to win the Champions League, probably, do you change your squad to that magnitude? Will Marc Guéhi replace Gabriel Magalhaes, and will Romeo Lavia be able to replace Thomas Partey in the starting lineup? In this video, I want us to dive into Mikel Arteta's proposed unstoppable 11, the 11 that he thinks can win him the Premier League. Now, he was disappointed with a couple of players, especially in the last season. He thinks if he can make a few changes, probably 4, probably 5 changes to the starting lineup, Arsenal can be champions next season. So all you have to do in the comment section below is to watch this starting lineup and let me know, do you think this is a lineup that would compete with Manchester City at the highest level and win us the English Premier League? Subscribe, hit the like button. Let's get this one to 500. I want your thoughts, I want your opinions right in the comment box below. Right, I think in goal he will stay with Aaron Ramsdale. He's made him a very priority goalkeeper. He's made him a priority signing. I think he really wanted him when we signed him, and I think Ramsdale has also not disappointed as a goalkeeper. He's one of the best in Europe in terms of his age bracket. He's also one of the best in the Premier League, by the way. There is also this ongoing debate whether Jordan Pickford should be starting ahead of Aaron Ramsdale, but in the end, I think Arsenal can still win silverware with a goalkeeper like Aaron Ramsdale. Now listen, I think we could have done better. We wanted Andre Onana before we signed Aaron Ramsdale. And in my opinion, Andre Onana might be just a better goalkeeper. He might be just a better quality of a player than Aaron Ramsdale, especially when it comes to his confidence in playing from the back, when it comes to his goal stopping as well. I think he's such a huge goalkeeper. He's got the experience as well. He's 25, 26, but there is nothing Ramsdale has done, in my opinion, to give him that lack of benefit of the doubt that he cannot be the goalkeeper that leads Arsenal to silverware. Now, there are mistakes that he's committing, and I know many Arsenal fans are really not happy, especially me, but I don't really have a huge, I don't have the huge resentment for Aaron Ramsdale. I think he's such a good goalkeeper. He's okay, he's all right. I would rate him as Ederson. I don't think he's up there with the likes of Jordan Pickford, with the likes of Alisson, David De Gea. I don't think he's up there. But if you ask for me, if I rate him at the same level as Ederson, I really do. And I think Ederson has won everything at Manchester City, and Ramsdale will win everything at Arsenal as well. Now, at centre-back, we could have Marc Guéhi instead of Gabriel Magalhaes. Mikel Arteta really likes Marc Guéhi. He's a player that we've talked about for quite some time. Of course, we've talked about other centre-backs in Edmond Tapsoba, which is more of an unrealistic deal. Simakan as well from RB Leipzig is more of an unrealistic deal, in my opinion. If you have William Saliba, you're not going to sign another centre-back where William Saliba plays for over 30-40 million. But Marc Guéhi has played such a very vital role for Crystal Palace in recent years, and it might be just that time for him to make a big move to a bigger club. Now, Marc Guéhi, does he fit into Arsenal? I think he does. Ball playing centre back, very strong, and I think he will be one of the centre backs that we will see start for England probably in the Euros of 2024. This is my prediction. If Arsenal can get Marc Guéhi, and then he starts every single game for us, or probably not every single game, because again, Gabriel Magalhaes has been such a very good centre-back for us. But I think Marc Guéhi would be an upgrade to Gabriel Magalhaes, in my opinion. And I know many people are going to disagree here, but he's such a very good centre-back. So on this one, I totally agree. If he's going to come in to replace Gabriel or even fight for his position with Gabriel Magalhaes, I really, really do agree. Such a strong centre back is such an astute signing. He might not be the Milan Skriniar, Bastoni levels, but I think he will get there, right? He can be your Virgil van Dijk. He can be your Sol Campbell. He can be that strong centre back in that Arsenal backline. He's another ruthless centre back, and it's one of the reasons why I like about him. He doesn't take a lot of time to make his decisions. The moment he looks at an opponent, 1v1, he's either going to take you on or he's going to put the ball out of play. So McGahey is one of the other players we might see starting for Arsenal next campaign. Alongside McGahey definitely is William Saliba, who's had a very, very good campaign last campaign with Arsenal. He's been named among team of the season almost for everyone on YouTube or in the mainstream media as well. I think it was the best young centre back for the Premier League last campaign. There were a few other good shouts. You think about Steven Botman. You think about maybe Bella Kocha at Southampton, but William Saliba was absolutely phenomenal. So we could see a new centre back partnership that also has its own questions. That also has its own for me, it has its own problems because Gabriel and Saliba had formed such a very, very strong partnership. But is it a partnership for Champions League? In my opinion, no. I don't see Arsenal win the Champions League with Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba. But McGahey and Saliba, maybe not next season. They might not give it to us next season, but in the next 2-3 years, they might be such a very, very good partnership. At right back, it is looking more and more likely that's going to be Timothy Castagne over Ben White and Joao Cancelo in terms of who will start for Arsenal next season. This doesn't make our back four unstoppable. It makes it absolutely shaky. Now, you might know me as a person and as an Arsenal fan who really doesn't rate Ben White playing at right back. I've not appreciated his services at right back, but I think I'll take him over. I wouldn't really take him over Castagne, but defensively, I think he's a much better player than Timothy Castagne. Now, my case for Timothy Castagne is that he is a proper right back, and that means that we will get a lot of creativity from that position. We'll get a lot of support to Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard from the right back position. However, that also means that the way we play will have to change because we'll have two fullbacks that are going to be absolutely playing high up the pitch, and that means that either Declan Rice or Romeo Lavia in midfield plus McGahey and William Saliba have to be very, very strong in terms of stopping those counterattacks and also breakthroughs from the opposition. Timothy Castagne is not a player I rate a lot. Mikel Arteta likes him. He really thinks he can be that kind of player that he can transform into a much better player. Of course, we know he has transformed Xhaka into an average midfielder to maybe not world beaters level, but to that level where you think, he's done well. So Timothy Castagne could be the next right back at Arsenal next campaign. There's already two changes to the starting 11. At left back, I really strongly think it's going to be Alexander Zinchenko still playing there. He's had a very, very good start to the campaign. My problem with Alexander Zinchenko is that defensively, he leaves Arsenal very, very exposed. And that is one of the reasons why I might just settle with McGahey. Because I think McGahey is such a very, very strong centre-back. He can cover for both his position and also Alexander Zinchenko's position as well. So two changes in the defense, McGahey and Castagne, we are likely to see next season. In midfield, we are also going to see two changes as well. The first player is Romeo Lavia, might sign from Southampton. Mikel Arteta has made him a priority after confirming that Moises Caicedo will not be signing for us. They were asking for around 80 million Brighton. Arsenal won't pay that amount. Romeo Lavia could be the player in midfield instead of Thomas Partey. Now, of course, you know the story. You know how it's going. Thomas Partey is in talks with Arsenal about his exit, and they have told him if they can get a replacement, Thomas Partey will be leaving Arsenal this summer. Romeo Lavia is the only one at the moment that doesn't make any sense. With Timothy Castagne, I understand Ben White is not such a good right back, so you need a proper right back at right back. But with Lavia, very good as a player, high prospects as a talent, but to be honest, replacing Thomas Partey with Romeo Lavia doesn't make any sense, right? This next move makes a lot of sense for me. If you sign Declan Rice to replace Granit Xhaka, that makes a lot of sense in my opinion. And Odegaard, of course, staying in midfield as captain, that also really makes a lot of sense. What doesn't make sense is Romeo Lavia in midfield. Now, there are debates about this one, and there are very, very main points and cases to be made for Romeo Lavia. But for me, at the end of the day, it's either does Romeo Lavia give us the quality Thomas Partey gives us? Does Romeo Lavia give us the quality that a player like Moises Caicedo would give us? That is where the questions are. On the other side, Declan Rice is such a very good signing, an upgrade to Granit Xhaka in terms of defensive ability and also physical ability as well. But then I also think it's an upgrade in terms of that age bracket, 24. He's going to be at Arsenal for something like next 8, 9, 10 years. That would be a very good one. Does that midfield make us better than we were last campaign? There are questions to be answered as well. Right. Up front, we might see changes as well. Left wing, I still reckon it will be Gabriel Martinelli. He's had a very, very good campaign, for Arsenal last season. He's now turned 22. Right wing, Saka's new contract just establishes him as a continued starter. And at centre forward is where we might see a change with Kai Havertz dropping into the starting lineup. Now, Kai Havertz, at first it was reported that Mikel Arteta would like to play him where Xhaka has been playing, but that might not be the case. Rice might be replacing Granit Xhaka directly, Lavia to replace Thomas Partey directly, and Odegaard to stay as the only senior member of that midfield. That means that Kai Havertz then replaces Gabriel Jesus. Now, Kai Havertz has got the Roberto Firmino vibes. We've got to agree to this. He made the second most runs into the penalty area after Erling Haaland last season. So he's got that ability to make runs into the penalty area of the opponent and score goals as well. But the big question for me is, do we need 6 changes or 5 changes to our team to win the Premier League? In my opinion, absolutely not. Now, I'll take McGahey as a change. I'll take Timothy Castagna as a change. I'll take Declan Rice as a change. And those are the only changes that I think Arsenal need next season. We don't need the rest of the players. Lavia on the bench, I'm absolutely okay with that. Havertz on the bench, I'm absolutely okay with that. And all the other signings that we could make, they could make it to the bench. I'm absolutely very, very okay with that. But these are so many changes to the starting 11. If we are going to call this unstoppable, this is actually not unstoppable. This is going back right from zero and building again. Now, do we need to build again for us to win the Premier League? I don't think we need to build again. I think we've built such a very interesting starting 11. That back four of Zinchenko, Saliba, Gabriel, and Benjamin White has done very, very well. In my opinion, you could only even change one player, and that could be, you could drop Benjamin White and play a proper right back. Could be Cancelo, it could be Ivan Fresneda. I don't have a problem with that. I think we need a proper right back. You could drop Gabriel and play a player like McGahey. I also don't have a problem with that, because I feel there are times when Gabriel has been exposed. There are times when you need a more quicker and more decisive centre back. All right. In midfield, I think we need one change. It is a like-for-like replacement. Rice in for Xhaka. That's it. I don't think we need any other changes. Now, listen. If we go with Rice at defensive midfield and Kai Havertz at attacking midfield, or to replace Xhaka directly, that might also bring in another debate, right? Because Rice is such a very good player defensively. He's topping the Premier League lists in terms of interceptions, tackles, I think blocks as well. He's very good in the air. And, his progressive ability on the ball also adds something that Thomas Partey doesn't bring to the side, right? He's got the ability to turn and progress that ball forward. I think that is a very, very important aspect if you're going to play a single pivot. So he might be our Rodri. He's got the ability to be the next Rodri at Arsenal. So I would agree. Kai Havertz on the other side, instead of being that conservative number 8, then he becomes the creative number 10 that he was at Bayer Leverkusen. I would definitely take that. But the front three means that the front three do not change. I don't think we need so many changes. The only changes that I think should happen at Arsenal are in squad. Maybe Trossard starting instead of Gabriel Martinelli. Maybe Trossard starting instead of Gabriel Jesus. But going with a whole new squad, a whole new starting 11, it might not work in our favor. It might not be the best decision Arsenal ever make in our lives. But anyway, that is what we could line up like, according to what Mikel Arteta is planning on a midfield overall, and also changes in the starting 11 at large. Is it a good lineup? Does it make it strong? Does it make us stronger? I think in most aspects it does make us stronger. But does it really propel us into title contenders? I don't think it does. I think these are still mediocre signings that, are maybe slightly better than what we have, but they don't just guarantee you the title. I kind of feel like our starting 11 last campaign was a big threat to many teams, and if we kept it, it would definitely give us silverware. At some point in time, those players would give us serious silverware. But anyway, your thoughts on that starting 11 that Mikel Arteta plans to implement next season?